Michelle Pfeiffer has a mixture of Swedish, German, Danish, Irish and Swiss blood. With an older brother and 2 younger sisters, her relationship did not work out. She borrowed makeup from the younger ones without asking, smashed their CDs, and during fights, she cut through their hair with animation. As she got older, it went away. Michelle grew up an unhappy child who was tormented by the imperfections of her appearance. Her peers teased her with the nickname Mud Turtle for her duck-like gait and fat lips. Having always been the tallest girl in her class, Michelle felt like a creep. If someone wanted to beat someone up, they always headed in my direction. In high school, she preferred classes to go into the beach with her friends, where she would hit on the boys with her bikini. That's when she started doing drugs, marijuana, LSD and just about anything else she could find on Huntington Beach. Later, she started smoking and drinking. Not surprisingly, she wrecked her first car, a red Mustang, when she was 16. None of those who taught her acting didn't believe anything good would come out of it, and many, when reporters got to them, couldn't even remember that Michelle Pfeiffer had once studied with them. I needed someone to save me from drugs and promiscuous men who were doing me a lot of damage. The long-awaited deliverer was Peter Horton. Although Michelle often said, "I don't believe in women being rescued by men," Peter helped her free herself from her bad habits, and in 1981 they were married at the Santa Monica Municipal Courthouse. Michelle laughed that I was never going to date an actor, much less a student, and here I was married to one. In fact, he was my first proper boyfriend. Before that I had only known men who were far from perfect. As her career took off, Michelle began blatantly pushing Peter everywhere. But her husband progressed much slower than Pfeiffer. Because of work, they were so rarely able to be together that the marriage was cracking. Maybe that's why most celebrity couples don't last long. It's so important to make time for each other. Pfeiffer's parents once saw Peter driving his wife to an interview, intoning to her how she should answer questions. In this marriage, he dominated, and she only obeyed. 2 years before they were officially divorced, they separated. It was a wonderful marriage to a wonderful man. Why did it end? We got married very young. We grew up. Our views changed. The people who ended up married were not the same people who once made vows to each other. I don't think you should get married before you're 30. We're good friends now, but at one time, we were really killing each other. After her divorce, Michelle took a medieval philosophy class with her girlfriend and delved into her work, turning it into a drug. For a long time, I didn't believe I could take care of myself. I felt like my life was falling apart and I didn't care. Rumors linked Pfeiffer's name with Alec Baldwin and Val Kilmer. Michelle's affair with the first Batman, Michael Keaton, began after a chance encounter with him in a supermarket. Dating always killed me. I didn't know how to behave when we weren't friends, but we weren't lovers either. Plus I never go anywhere. They enjoyed each other's company for a while, but they two were eventually divorced by work. During the filming of Dangerous Liaisons, Michelle played a God-fearing widow victimized by John Malkovich's character. In life, everything came out by mutual desire, and the tabloids screamed about this appetizing story. At a Shakespeare festival in New York, Michelle met Fisher Stevens, both playing in Twelfth Night. Fisher whisked her away to Paris, intending to make the French capital the romantic beginning of their relationship. But he came down with the flu en route. Stevens ended up in Paris with a beautiful, talented woman and had to lie in bed, alone. Michelle carefully fussed around the patient, and the failure with Paris did not affect her attitude to Stevens. Friends called him Fish English Fish and joked that Michelle prefers Fisherman English Fisher. She went shopping with his mom, and once the three of them went skiing in New Mexico, where they were discovered by Michelle's fans. The couple carefully hid from the press and believed that this was the secret to the longevity of their romance. Everyone around discussed when they would get married, but after 3 years of increasingly infrequent meetings ended in nothing. Apparently, desperate to meet the man of her dreams, but not wanting to deny herself and another female happiness, the opportunity to have a child. Michelle once thought of finding a man who would help her to conceive a child just like that, without any conditions, legal battles, and paternal claims. Either a suitable candidate was not found, or Michelle did not find the strength to engage in conception with the unloved. But in March 1993, she adopted a newborn girl, Claudia Rose. She was less than a year away from marrying David E. Kelley, a TV producer and screenwriter. I had reached a point in my life where you can't help but be surprised if you suddenly meet a good man. I never wanted to get married for the sake of marriage itself. When I met David, we just went out for lunch. I'm very calm. So is he. I didn't even realize he liked me. And I still think that sometimes. On November 13, 1993, Michelle married, and the following year they had a son, John Henry. South African magazine Big Screen called them one of the most stunning couples in Hollywood, along with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, John Travolta and Kelly Preston, and sis Michelle Didi, also an actress by the way, and quite popular in the States, said, in an interview, they admire each other unconditionally. Since David came into her life, she has been able to finally relax and be at peace.